You wouldn't last a day in ancient Egypt, not because of the heat or the sand, but because the world then moved slowly, like honey, and listened, like stone, because sleep was sacred and dreams could change the Nile's course. Tonight, you'll wander barefoot through temples of forgotten gods, dine with pharaohs, and speak with cats that remember your name. This isn't just history. This is the slow unfolding of time, told in whispers, to help you fall asleep. So close your eyes and let the desert carry you. The sun that never slept long before alarm clocks and crowded mornings, there was only the hush of sand and the breath of the Nile. And above it all, the sun. But not a sun like ours. This was Ra. He was not just light. He was a god with a face of fire, sailing across the sky in a golden boat, pushed gently by unseen winds, guided by hymns sung by priests in temples carved from time. Each morning, he rose from the underworld, not because he wanted to, but because he had to. The world depended on it. While you sleep, Ra never does. By the time the first yawn escaped your lips, he had already fought Apophis, a serpent so long it could coil around a dream, a beast of chaos that waited in the shadows of the night, trying to swallow the dawn. But Ra always won, not with swords, but with memory, with names spoken aloud in candlelight and prayers whispered beneath stone ceilings. To live in ancient Egypt was to rise with Ra. There were no curtains thick enough to hide from him. No excuses, no, just 5 more minutes. The moment his light touched your face, you were awake, not by choice, but by reverence. Children blinked under that first brightness. Farmers bowed. Even the statues seemed to glow a little more. Would you have lasted, dear dreamer? Waking each day not with coffee, but with obedience? Would your bones stretch fast enough to follow the rhythm of a god who never once blinked? The heat came quickly. It pooled in the corners of houses, climbed up your spine, whispered under your clothes. It made you move slowly, speak softly, drink deeply. And at midday, when Ra stood above the earth like a watchful eye, the world paused. Even the crocodiles hid beneath the lilies. You might have shaded your face with your hands, squinting toward the heavens, wondering if he saw you, if he knew your name. They say he did, that every soul, every seed, every sigh under the sun was counted in his light. But he could not rest. At night, while mortals lay on palm mats and dreamed of cool breezes, Ra entered the Duat, the realm of the dead, where stars had names and rivers ran backward. He battled monsters with many mouths and sailed on waters darker than sorrow, all so the sun could rise again. He did this every night. He still does. So the next time your dreams begin to flicker and you feel the warmth of distant light brushing your cheek, you might wonder, is it morning already? Or is Ra just passing by, making sure you're still dreaming? Sand in your shoes, sand in your soul. In ancient Egypt, the sand was more than sand. It was silence and time and memory. It was the breath of forgotten empires, the whisper of gods, and the weight of lives that had already passed. You couldn't escape it. Not in your sleep, not in your teeth, not in the seams of your linen robes. It found you. It sifted through the cracks of every doorway, gathered in the corners of every thought. It curled beneath the tongue like a secret, and rested in the folds of every footstep. Each grain, just a speck, but together they held the shape of history. You would have felt it always. Warm underfoot in the early light, hot as fire by midday, cool as shadow after sunset, and always whispering. Never loud, never kind, just patient. It coated bread as it baked in clay ovens. It blended into every breath you took near the ground. Even the mighty pharaohs, wrapped in gold and silence, were not immune. Sand found them too. It settled into their tombs, pressed gently against their closed eyes. The workers who built the pyramids did not curse the sand. They sang to it. They wetted it down to drag the stone. They learned how it moved, how it shifted beneath weight, how it held memories without judgment. And when the wind came, the Khamsin, hot and sudden, it lifted the desert like a veil, and the sand danced. It danced like ghosts. It danced like prayers with no one left to say them. In time, the sand swallowed whole cities. There are towns beneath it now, still intact, still waiting. Staircases that lead to no sky. Rooms with bowls still resting where hands once left them. And they say, if you sleep near the dunes, you might hear it. You might hear the laughter of children trapped in the grains. You might hear sandals scuffing stone, or a distant market bell ringing beneath your pillow. You'd wake to find sand on your skin, though your windows were closed, though your room was far from the desert, because Egypt's sand does not forget. It is patient. It is alive. It clung to the sandals of merchants who traded spices and amulets under a moonlit sky. It coated the scrolls of temple scribes, softly rewriting prayers with each breath of the wind. It followed warriors into battle and returned home before them. It knows more names than the stars. They believed it listened. They believed it carried the footsteps of the gods, that it could bury your sins and carry your name to the stars. If you spoke it softly enough into the wind, it was sacred, a quiet companion. It watched births. It covered graves. It held the world together, grain by grain, long before maps, long before kings. And in sleep, it followed. It curled into your dreams, winding slowly through imagined palaces and cool riverbeds. If you close your eyes now and breathe slowly, slower, you might feel it, not beneath you, but around you, within you, a quiet hum beneath thought, a warmth behind your heartbeat, a memory that doesn't belong to you, but welcomes you just the same. Because in Egypt, the sand was not just in your shoes, it was in your soul. And perhaps it still is. Bread, beer, and beetles you would have eaten with your hands. There were no silver spoons, no polished forks, just fingers dusted in flour and thyme, carrying the warmth of the oven and the dust of the Nile's endless banks. Meals were simple, not because the people were poor in spirit, but because the land gave only what it chose. And in Egypt, the land gave grain, grain born from mud and sun, fed by the river's slow breath, each stalk a quiet promise of bread and life to come. Fields of golden emmer wheat grew in rows beside the Nile, fed by its annual flood. A rhythm so old, even the river no longer questioned it. The farmers knelt in dawn's cool hush, their hands worn like the stones they carried, their eyes heavy with hope and dust. The bread was dense, dark with ground grain and ground stone. Yes, stone. Bits of grit mixed into the flour wore down teeth over years, until the elders gummed their food in silence. But still, bread was sacred. You broke it before statues of gods. You shared it at birth and at burial. You offered it to the dead, knowing they might be hungry too. And alongside bread, beer, not cold, not foaming, but thick as porridge, cloudy with bits of grain and date, brewed in clay jars that sweated in the heat of the sun. It was life in liquid form. Children drank it, priests blessed it, builders survived on it, one heavy gulp at a time. Its sweetness was faint, like a memory of honey or of laughter carried on a summer breeze. Sometimes you'd mix the bread into the beer, a drink and a meal in the same clay cup. And on festival nights, when music floated through the palm trees, you'd sip slowly and forget the weight of the day. The drums echoed like heartbeats. The flute sang like birds at dawn. And every mouthful was a prayer to the gods who watched silently from stone. But there were other meals too. Not every table was blessed with figs or fish. And so, beetles, scarabs roasted on flat stones. Their shells crackled like dry leaves. They were eaten not out of desperation, but out of rhythm. A strange harmony with the world. After all, the scarab was sacred, a symbol of rebirth, of the rising sun, of pushing the world forward one step at a time. To eat one was to take in its strength, to swallow its spirit. Some said the gods frowned. Others said the gods didn't mind. Who could say? The gods often watched without blinking, sometimes in the shape of cats, sometimes as silent shadows. There were leeks too, and garlic, strong and sharp. Onions so beloved they were buried with the dead to season their afterlife. The sharp smell lingered in temples, mixing with incense and the quiet hum of prayers. Once in a while, if your stars were kind, you might taste honey. Pale gold, thick and slow, poured over dates or lotus cake. A single drop could quiet a cry, like a lullaby sung by the river itself. And still, the meal was never rushed. The desert slowed all things. Chewing was done gently, beneath shade, beneath silence. Each bite savored as if it might be the last. Each sip a cool refuge from the sun's relentless gaze. You would not have wasted a crumb. Not in that place. Not in that heat. Every morsel was a gift, every meal a ritual, and every day a blessing. You would have eaten with reverence, with sand on your lips and sweat at your brow. And perhaps, as you licked your fingers clean, you'd have felt it, a closeness to the land, to the beetles and the bakers, to the priests and the peasants, to the gods who watched from stone walls and sometimes sat among you, disguised as cats or the wind. In that moment, the world felt whole, as if every bite and every sip was a thread woven through time, binding you softly to all who had come before, and all who would come after. And in the silence after eating, when your belly was warm with bread, and your breath smelled of beer, sleep would come gently, like the scent of grain on the wind, like the sound of grinding stone. Far away, far away, the servant who spoke to the gods in the cool shadows of towering temples, where sunlight sifted through carved stone like liquid gold, there lived a servant with hands stained by ink, fingers that traced the secrets of the gods on thin papyrus sheets, soft as whispers, fragile as the morning mist. He was not a prince nor a priest, not draped in fine linens or crowned with gold. But in his quiet way, he spoke louder than kings. The scribes believed that words held power, a magic hidden between the lines, waiting for the right breath, the right pause, to awaken it. And this servant, with a voice barely louder than the desert wind, whispered prayers that made the Nile rise, that calmed storms before they touched the land, that carried the weight of hopes and fears like fragile boats on a river of stars. Sometimes, when no one watched, he'd speak to Thoth, the god of wisdom and writing, as if the god himself were sitting beside him, patient and knowing, guiding his trembling hand. His scrolls fluttered through temple halls, like birds startled from long sleep. They carried messages from earth to heaven, from mortal hearts to immortal ears. The words danced lightly on papyrus, like petals caught in a soft breeze, whispering secrets of life, death, and rebirth. The people said his words were feathers, light, yet strong enough to carry souls, to hold the balance between worlds. A single phrase could turn drought to rain, war to peace, and despair into hope. But magic is a fragile thing, held in silence as much as in sound. So he spoke only when the moon was high, when the desert lay still beneath a blanket of stars, when even the gods paused to listen. And in those quiet hours, the gods leaned closer. Pharaohs, draped in gold and power, could only dream of such closeness, but the servant, with no crown but a heart full of secrets, held the voices of the gods in his palm, and the gods whispered back. One night, after the prayers had flown like birds, the servant closed his eyes and dreamed a dream that was not his own. He saw rivers flowing backward, stars singing forgotten songs, mountains breathing deep and slow, and the heartbeat of the earth itself, steady, endless, ancient. In his dream, the god spoke to him, in voices like wind through palm fronds, in light that shimmered and danced, in silence deeper than any tomb. They showed him the hidden paths between worlds, the sacred geometry of time, the way the sun and moon moved in perfect balance, and the sacred duty of those who listen. When he awoke, his hand no longer trembled. The words he wrote were no longer just ink on papyrus. They were the song of the sky, the promise of the Nile, and the quiet power of a whisper. He wrote prayers that could heal, stories that could soothe, and secrets that only the stars would keep. So when you drift to sleep tonight, remember the servant who spoke to the gods, whose voice was soft, but whose magic was loud enough to ripple through time. And maybe, just maybe, if you listen closely, you'll hear him still, whispering beneath the rustle of leaves, dancing on the edges of your dreams, calling softly to those who dare to listen. How to build a pyramid, very slowly. Imagine a world where time does not tick or race, but flows like a vast river, winding endlessly, each moment stretching long and soft, as patient as the desert sky, as steady as the river's endless song. In ancient Egypt, pyramids were more than stone and mortar, more than monuments to kings or gods. They were living poems, written slowly, layer by layer, over years and lifetimes, crafted by countless hands joined in quiet purpose, hands worn smooth by the rhythm of work and faith. You would not build a pyramid in a single day, nor in the span of one lifetime. Its creation was a slow, sacred dance with time itself, a rhythm set by the floodwaters of the Nile, by the rising and falling of the sun and stars, by the whispered prayers of the workers beneath the sun's watchful gaze. The first step was to listen. Listen to the earth beneath your bare feet, to the river's gentle breath as it swelled and receded, to the silent stretch taut between the season's floods, as if the very land was holding its breath, waiting for hands that knew its secrets, hands that moved with patience and reverence. At dawn, the workers gathered like shadows, their bodies wrapped in linen coarse and worn, their feet sinking softly into the soft, wet mud. They pulled immense blocks of limestone, slick wooden sledges sliding slowly forward, lubricated with water drawn from the sacred river, their muscles steady, their breath deep and even. The sun rose like a great, golden eye, casting long shadows on the desert floor, warming the backs of the men and women who moved with quiet determination beneath the endless sky. Copper chisels struck stone, sparks flying like tiny stars in the still morning air. as master masons carved each block smooth and true until every stone fit perfectly with its neighbor. Pieces of a grand, silent song, woven together by hands and faith. The pyramid grew slowly, layer upon layer, stone upon stone, each a prayer, each a breath drawn in rhythm with the land. No hurry, no rush, only the patient, sacred dance of creation unfolding in slow motion. Inside, secret chambers were hollowed, quiet rooms to hold the pharaoh's journey beyond death, filled with treasures wrapped in gold and silence, inscribed with spells and blessings, songs meant to guide the soul into the night. When the day's labor ended, the workers lay beneath the sky studded with stars, their bodies heavy with fatigue, but their spirits bound forever to the stones rising beneath their hands. Building a pyramid was not just work, but a sacred rite, a bridge between earth and sky, between fleeting life and endless eternity, between the human and the divine. Would you have the patience to stand so still, to move so slowly, to dream so deeply, knowing your hands might never see the final form of the world you helped to build? Each stone was a heartbeat, each layer a breath, each day a step closer to forever. Seasons cycled gently. The Nile rose and fell in endless ebb and flow, and still the pyramid climbed, slow as a whispered story, a secret carried on desert winds. Generations came and went, their names fading like shadows at dusk, but their work remained, a mountain of memory and hope, silent and steadfast beneath the burning sun. And when at last the pyramid was complete, it stood, not merely as a tomb or monument, but as a promise to the earth, to the gods, and to the future waiting beyond the stars. So now, close your eyes. Feel the cool, rough stone beneath your palms, the gentle rush of the Nile on your skin, and the soft, endless song of the desert night, whispering ancient secrets as you drift slowly, slowly into dreams that stretch beyond time. The girl who slept in a sarcophagus in the heart of an ancient city where the Nile's slow breath met the golden sands. There was a girl whose eyes once shimmered like the soft twilight, a delicate light that seemed to dance between the waking world and the realm of dreams. She was not a princess draped in silks or jewels, nor a queen with a crown of gold and fragrant lotus blossoms, but she held within her a quiet treasure, a heart full of stories whispered by the wind, tales carried on the river's endless song, and secrets told by the rustling reeds along the water's edge. When the time came for her to leave this world, her family laid her gently to rest beneath the hot sun and starry sky, nestled within a sarcophagus hewn from the smoothest limestone, its walls adorned with paintings and hieroglyphs, prayers written in sacred ink, symbols of gods and stars, guiding her soul on the long journey beyond the realm of mortals. She did not simply sleep. She drifted within a dream woven by the hands of the priests, a dream where time folded softly like the delicate papyrus leaves, where the Nile's waters flowed backward in shimmering ribbons, carrying her spirit slowly between the worlds of life and beyond. Within that stone cradle, her spirit wandered through secret gardens filled with blooming lotus, where the air was thick with the sweet scent of honey and myrrh, and the sunlight shimmered like liquid gold, casting long shadows on fields of ripened grain that stretched endlessly beneath the vast, unchanging sky. She danced softly with shadows shaped like cats, graceful, silent creatures whose eyes gleamed with ancient wisdom and whispered stories to scarab beetles, those sacred guardians of rebirth, their shells shining like polished jewels in the soft light. As the gods sang lullabies, soft as the breath of the desert night, melodies only the stars could hear. Though her body rested still within the stone, her mind soared beyond the tomb's quiet walls, across vast deserts painted in ochre and crimson hues, through temple halls carved with stories of gods and kings, beneath skies so endless and deep they seemed to hold the entire universe. When the sun slipped beneath the horizon, those who passed near her resting place would sometimes feel a gentle breeze, cool and soft as a whispered sigh, as if the girl's breath still stirred the air, her dreams reaching out to brush the waking world with a delicate touch. And in the quiet hush of night, when your own eyes grow heavy with sleep, think of the girl who sleeps in her stone cradle, wrapped in whispers and folded softly in the arms of time, held gently between the worlds of now and forever. Feel her quiet peace, the gentle crossing between life and what lies beyond, and let yourself drift, slowly, gently, into a dream that stretches beyond the stars, a dream soft as lotus petals, wide as the endless desert sky, and calm as the slow, steady flow of the river. In that dream, the Nile sings the oldest song, carrying stories and secrets from shore to shore, and the stars blink slowly, their light weaving ancient patterns that cloak the night in silver and shadow. The girl dances beneath the moonlight, her laughter a soft ripple on the wind, while scarab beetles roll their sacred orbs, pushing the sun anew each dawn. The gods watch quietly, their eyes gentle and knowing, guarding the threshold between worlds, and the sands themselves seem to hold their breath, waiting for the morning sun to rise again. So close your eyes now, and let this ancient story wrap you in its calm embrace, carrying you gently through the night, until you too are softly cradled in the endless peaceful dream. Cats that remember your name. In the early morning glow of ancient Egypt's vast skies, where the sun rises slow and golden over endless desert sands, and the mighty Nile flows like a ribbon of life through the earth, there roam creatures small yet mighty, cats whose eyes burn softly like smouldering embers, and whose spirits are as deep and mysterious as the infinite night. These were no ordinary animals. They were sacred guardians and companions, trusted keepers of secrets older than the shifting dunes, woven into the fabric of ancient stories whispered beneath the stars. They did not merely hear their names. They remembered them deeply, not as sounds or fleeting words, but as gentle, soft songs, melodies that lived inside their very souls, carried on the rhythm of their breath, etched like ancient glyphs into the folds of their fur. When a child softly called a cat's name, the creature would pause, ears flickering like papyrus reeds swaying in the breeze, then step forward, graceful and quiet, a shadow folding itself into the warm light of dawn. They moved like whispers over stone and sand, their paws barely pressing the earth, their fur shimmering under both sun and moon, and in their eyes danced stories older than the stars themselves, tales of gods walking among mortals, of kings wrapped in linen and gold, of mysteries hidden deep in the folds of time and space. The ancient Egyptians believed cats to be protectors, warding homes against darkness and danger, scaring away evil spirits and snakes that lurked silently in the shadows. They were sacred beings, sometimes worshipped, and to harm a cat was to invite sorrow, misfortune, and the displeasure of gods who watched from their distant thrones. But cats were also playful spirits, curious as the twists and turns of the Nile, their whiskers twitching at secrets invisible to human eyes, their tails curling and unfurling like smoke drifting up from temple incense, their eyes sparkling with the quiet mischief of desert nights. On certain nights, If you listen with the stillness of the desert itself, you might hear cats speaking softly among themselves, their purrs weaving spells of protection and peace, sharing the names and stories of every soul they have known, memories folded like fragile scrolls, carried gently in the soft rustle of their fur. In shadowed temple courtyards and silent alleyways, cats gather beneath the silver gaze of the moon, their eyes shining like distant stars, and as they meet, their purrs rise and fall in lullabies, songs spun from ancient magic, mystery, and love. Imagine now a small cat curling beside you, warm and soft against your skin, its fur a gentle breath on your cheek, its eyes reflecting the flicker of candlelight in the quiet room. Without words, it knows you, remembers the sound of your voice, the rhythm of your breathing, the kindness flowing from your touch. And as your eyelids grow heavy, feel the delicate brush of its tail, the steady hum of its purr, a secret song carried on the night's soft breath, wrapping you in a shield of silent calm. If you listen closely, you might hear it whisper your name, a gentle murmur in the stillness, magic woven deep into shadows, a timeless reminder that you are never alone. So rest now, safe beneath the watchful eyes of cats who remember, held in their silent love and endless grace, as you drift slowly, gently, into dreams wrapped in warmth and starlight, carried softly on the paws of 1,000 whispered stories. The night deepens around you, soft as the fur beneath a cat's paw, and you sink deeper into the quiet, the gentle embrace of ancient peace. Stars dance slowly overhead, like jewels scattered across velvet sky, and the Nile hums its endless song, a lullaby older than memory. You are carried on this song, as the cat's soft purring weaves through your dreams, guiding you softly through the night's vast expanse, where time slows to a gentle, endless pulse. And in this place, between earth and sky, between wakefulness and dream, you find a quiet peace, held forever in the silent remembering of cats. The river that dreamed in blue, in the heart of ancient lands, where the Nile flows slow and steady, there was a river that dreamed in blue, a river that carried the stories of the sky and cradled the whispers of the earth beneath its shimmering surface. Its waters moved like liquid silk, reflecting the endless dance of clouds above, stretching wide beneath the vast blue dome and singing softly to the reeds that swayed along its banks. The river remembered the footprints of the first people, the songs they sang as they sailed in slender boats, the laughter of children chasing dragonflies at dusk, and the gentle hands that dipped into the cool water to draw life. Each ripple was a soft breath, each wave a quiet heartbeat, pulsing with the memories of seasons long past, of floods that kissed the land with fertile grace, and droughts that taught patience in their silent hold. At night, the river dreamed deeply, painting its surface with the hues of the twilight sky, a canvas of indigo, violet, and soft cobalt blue, where stars shimmered like scattered jewels, and the moon traced a silver path along the water's gentle flow. Beneath this dreaming river, ancient creatures slept, slow-moving fish that glided like shadows, and tiny shells that whispered secrets to the sand. The river's dream was one of endless journey, carrying life from distant mountains to villages nestled in the valley's arms, to the open sea where the horizon seemed to fold upon itself. The river held the stories of ancient kings, whose boats sailed on its smooth surface, and the prayers of priests who called upon the gods to bless its waters and protect its flow. It carried the songs of harvest festivals, when the fields bloomed golden with grain, and the soft footsteps of lovers wandering beneath the shade of date palms. The river was a ribbon of life and memory, woven through the land like a silver thread, connecting past and present in a gentle embrace. It flowed past grand temples, where the statues of God stood silent and watchful, their stone eyes holding the wisdom of centuries. It passed beneath bridges where children played, their laughter carried softly on the warm breeze, and near quiet villages where elders told tales of heroes and legends by flickering firelight. The river was a mirror to the sky, sometimes clear and bright, reflecting the sun's golden face, and other times dark and mysterious, holding the shadows of clouds and the secrets of the night. As the seasons turned, the river's song changed, from the gentle lullaby of early spring rains to the powerful roar of summer floods, and then to the slow, quiet hum of autumn's retreat, until finally winter wrapped it in a soft, cool silence. The river carried dreams, dreams whispered by the wind, dreams sung by the stars, dreams cradled in the arms of the earth. It dreamed of faraway places, of mountains that touched the sky, of seas that stretched beyond the horizon, of skies filled with endless stars. It dreamed of the hands that built great temples, of voices raised in song and prayer, of the laughter of children and the quiet steps of those who came before. And as you close your eyes now, imagine the river's dream flowing over you, cool and calm, soft and endless, a lullaby of blue light and gentle motion, carrying you gently, gently into the deepest, most peaceful sleep. Let the river's steady rhythm fill your heart, its quiet current cradle your thoughts, and its timeless journey remind you that even in stillness, life flows on, always moving, always dreaming, always becoming. Feel yourself carried on its endless journey, flowing like water beneath the sun and moon, held gently in the quiet embrace of a river that dreams in blue. The curse in the clay jar long ago, beneath the endless sky of ancient Egypt, where golden sands shimmered like waves of liquid sunlight, and the warm desert breeze carried whispers of forgotten times. There rested a small, humble clay jar, unassuming in shape, yet wrapped in layers of silence and secrets, bearing a story carried softly across the ages. This jar was crafted by patient hands, shaped from the river's fertile mud, spun slowly upon a wheel of wood and stone, then fired in the heat of smoky kilns, its surface adorned with symbols, delicate, mysterious signs, faint as dreams beneath the dust of centuries. It held no glittering treasures, no jewels of shining gold, nor the fragrant oils that perfume sacred temples, but a secret, a quiet, weighty secret, woven from words whispered in shadowed chambers, soft spells murmured beneath flickering torchlight, sealed beneath the painted watchful eye of Horus, a guardian gaze that never slept. The jar was laid to rest deep beneath the earth, in a forgotten tomb where silence lay thick as velvet, hidden among pots once filled with grain and oil, where shadows curled and memories folded in the dark. Legends say that those who dared disturb this fragile vessel, those who cracked its delicate walls open to the air, would feel a sudden chill, like the desert night's cool breath, a whisper curling around the heart, slow and sharp, as gentle as the Nile's winding flow, and yet as piercing as a scorpion's sting beneath the sand. Yet this curse was no fury of gods unleashed, no wrathful storm of vengeance or fear. It was a gentle, lingering warning, a message cast from the depths of time itself, reminding all who listened that some things are meant to rest, held safely beneath the earth's quiet embrace, cradled in clay, in shadow, in the patient passing of ages. In the deepest quiet of dreams, it is said, the jar opens its fragile lips, and shadows spill forth like slow-moving river water, curling and twisting into ancient shapes. Shapes of silent kings and watchful gods, of sacred rites and secret songs long forgotten by waking minds. Yet within this unfolding mystery, there is a kindness, a soft voice in the dark, telling stories to those who listen with gentle hearts, tales of balance and respect, of patience and the sacred trust between what is seen and what must remain hidden. Now, as your breath slows and your eyes grow heavy, imagine the clay jar resting far beneath the earth, its secret curse wrapped not in anger or menace, but in the soft, enduring hush of history itself. And let this quiet magic wrap around your dreams like a cool desert breeze, slowly guiding you, gently, into a night of peace, deep and endless. The stars above twinkle softly, like ancient eyes watching over your sleep, and the desert breathes quietly. A lullaby of patience, mystery, and calm. Let this story settle deep inside your heart, a whispered secret carried into the night. And rest now, wrapped in the gentle silence of the clay jar's ancient curse, held safely in the timeless arms of the dark. With every breath, feel the desert's calm flow through your veins, cool and steady as the river's endless song, carrying you farther from the noise of day, deeper into the soothing embrace of night's gentle fold. And when dawn stirs the sky once more, you will awaken renewed, carrying the soft wisdom of the clay jar's silent promise that some mysteries are best left to dreams, cradled in quiet shadows, waiting patiently to whisper again when the world is ready to listen. The sleep of the pharaoh in the vast and endless heart of ancient Egypt, beneath the blazing sun that scattered gold upon the endless sands, and under a sky so wide and blue it seemed to hold the dreams of the world. There was a secret known only to the kings, the sacred, timeless sleep of the pharaoh, a rest wrapped in silence and shadow, where dreams and eternity intertwined in a quiet, gentle dance. As the fierce heat of day softened into the gentle hues of dusk, and the desert air cooled beneath the blush of violet and rose, the pharaoh would lay his head upon a pillow carved from smooth limestone, softened by layers of silken cloth, woven with threads kissed by the blessings of ancient gods. His eyelids would close with the grace of the lotus folding at twilight. His breath would slow and deepen, steady and calm, like the quiet current of the Nile beneath a silver moon, and his heart would beat in time with the ancient rhythms of distant drums and sacred chants that echoed through temple halls. As sleep wrapped its dark, velvety wings softly around him, the pharaoh slipped beyond the bounds of mortal life, beyond the grasp of time and sand, beyond the endless waves of the desert, into a realm where light and shadow played beneath endless stars. In this sacred sleep, he wandered through gardens bathed in shimmering moonlight, where lotus flowers unfolded their delicate petals like whispered secrets, glittering with dew that sparkled like scattered jewels, and the cool night air hummed softly with the voices of forgotten gods. He passed through long corridors carved from ancient stone, where shadows danced to silent stories of great deeds, and statues stood still and watchful, their carved faces holding the wisdom of countless centuries. Here, the pharaoh's dreams were woven from golden threads, threads spun from the songs of priests chanting deep within temples, the laughter of children playing beneath swaying palms, the soft rustle of linen robes caught in a gentle desert breeze, and the steady, quiet footsteps of ancestors long past. This sleep was not merely rest, but a sacred journey between worlds, a passage where the pharaoh's spirit danced with gods and ancestors, where time stretched wide and slow, like the eternal flow of the Nile's waters. He drifted through visions of magnificent temples, their walls alive with painted scenes of creation, love, and power, and the endless cycles of the sun and moon. He walked beside the great river, feeling its cool, dark waters slip past his fingertips, hearing the soft murmur of prayers carried on the breeze, and the rustle of papyrus reeds swaying gently in the night. In this timeless sleep, the pharaoh was both king and dreamer, ruler of worlds seen and unseen, held safely in the gentle embrace of gods, who whispered blessings, guarded his soul, and sang him into peaceful rest. Now as you lie down, let the calm of the pharaoh's sacred sleep wrap around you like a soft, warm cloak. Let your breath slow and deepen, matching the steady, ancient rhythm of the earth itself. Close your eyes and imagine walking beside the pharaoh through these dream gardens, touching the smooth, cool petals of lotus flowers, hearing the distant bells toll softly from a temple, feeling the gentle night air carry you deeper and deeper into peaceful, sacred rest. Let the stillness hold you. Let the soft shadows cradle you. Let the endless sky watch over you as you drift slowly, gently into your own sacred sleep. Let the dreams that come be soft and kind, whispering ancient wisdom and the quiet strength of those who ruled before. A calm river flowing endlessly through time, always present, always gentle. Sleep now, under the watchful eyes of stars and gods, safe in the timeless arms of night, held gently in the eternal, peaceful sleep of the pharaoh. Feel the deep quiet fill you, the slow pulse of the universe inside your chest, and know that you are cradled in a dream as vast as the desert sky, as endless as the river's song. Sleep and dream in the still, sacred embrace of ancient worlds, the feather that judged the soul. In the quiet hush where day slips softly into night, and the stars begin their gentle dance across the vast sky, there travels an ancient story whispered by the desert winds, a story of a feather, light as a breath on the morning breeze, that holds within it the sacred power to weigh and judge the soul. This feather belonged to Maat, the timeless goddess of truth, balance and harmony, whose watchful eyes see beyond the veils of time and shadow, who holds the eternal scales that measure the hearts of all, kings, gods, and humble souls alike. When a soul departs from the world of the living, it journeys silently to the hall of two truths, a place beyond the grasp of time, bathed in soft, endless light, where the heart is carefully laid upon the scales of Maat, and the feather descends slowly beside it, soft, delicate, and lighter than the gentlest sigh of the desert breeze. If the heart is as light as the feather, free from the heavy burdens of falsehood, sorrow, and regret, then the scales find perfect balance, and the soul is granted passage to the field of reeds, a sacred, peaceful land of endless calm, where rivers flow slow and steady like lullabies, and tall reeds sway softly, whispering ancient songs of rest. But if the heart carries shadows, the weight of unkindness, fear, or deceit, the scales tilt gently but surely, and the soul must face another path, one wrapped in darkness and silence, waiting patiently for the light of truth to return once more. Yet this judgment is neither harsh nor cruel, but gentle and fair, like the soft desert breeze that balances the heat of day, a reminder that truth is the guiding light, and balance the steady path beneath wandering feet. Imagine now the feather drifting softly through the cool night air, catching and weaving moonlight as it falls, fluttering like a silent promise whispered on the wind, a quiet hope for every wandering soul seeking peace. Breathe slowly, deeply, and feel the feather's lightness fill your heart, releasing the heavy burdens of the day, letting worries and fears drift away, allowing peace and truth to settle softly within. Feel yourself growing lighter, weightless as the feather riding the gentle breeze, floating over calm rivers and silent sands, carried toward a dreamscape where balance reigns and every shadow is kissed by forgiving light. Let the feather's quiet grace wrap around your soul like a soft, warm cloak, leading you deeper into rest, into dreams where truth and peace meet, and the heart is free to soar like a bird on the wind. Hear the faint murmur of the river's flow. Feel the cool touch of reeds brushing your fingertips. See the soft glow of stars reflected on still waters, all carrying you gently into the field of reeds, where the soul dances free, unburdened and at peace. In this sacred place, there is no fear, no pain, no weight, only the gentle balance of all things and the soft whisper of the feather's eternal promise. So rest now and let the feather's judgment be one of kindness and peace, a lullaby of truth and light, guiding you safely through the endless embrace of night. Let the calmness fill you deeply, the stillness settle softly within your bones, and the quiet peace of the feather's gentle touch carry you into the sweetest dreams, where the soul is light and the heart is free. Sleep now, wrapped in the gentle wings of Ma'at's feather, held safe in the timeless balance of truth, cradled softly by the endless desert night. Let your mind drift gently through endless fields of stars and moonlight, over sands that sparkle like diamonds beneath the quiet night, where time flows slowly like the sacred Nile, and the whispers of ancient gods float softly on the breeze. Feel the soft weightlessness of your soul, carried gently on the breath of the night, floating through realms where light and shadow dance, and where every dream is touched by the gentle hand of truth. Let the night cradle you, let the feather guide you, let your heart be light and your spirit free. Rest now in the eternal peace of Ma'at's sacred scales, and sleep deeply, gently, forevermore. The boy who drew the stars long ago, beside the shimmering Nile, where golden dawn spilled soft light over endless sands, in a quiet village cradled by the river's gentle flow, there lived a boy whose heart brimmed with wonder, a dreamer whose hands reached beyond the earth, to craft worlds hidden beyond the night sky's vast canvas. Each evening, as the sun sank low, painting the horizon in deep shades of rose and amber, the boy would settle beneath the vast velvet heavens with nothing but a slender reed brush and soft ochre pigments pressed from desert stones. With tender care, he traced the stars, not mere points of distant light, but the very stories whispered by the heavens, the ancient dreams carried on the breath of desert winds. His brush danced lightly, painting constellations born from myth and magic, each star a shining note in an endless silent song, a tapestry woven from dreams, hopes, and the quiet pulse of time. The boy's drawings were portals, gateways unseen, doorways to worlds where gods wove the fabric of night, where the river of time flowed slow and gentle, carrying secrets of the cosmos to the farthest edges of the earth. Villagers would gather, silent and reverent, watching the boy at his sacred task, hearing the soft whisper of his breath, wondering how such small hands could hold the vastness of the night, how a simple brush could capture the light of eternity and shape it into stories only the tender heart could understand. One night, beneath a silver moon hung high, the boy saw a new star waiting to be born, soft, glowing, a gentle promise flickering in the dark. With a deep breath and steady hand, he reached out and, with a single stroke, drew the star into the heavens, a beacon shimmering brighter than any before. From that night forward, the boy's stars became guides for dreamers and travelers, their light a soft lullaby, leading all who watched upward gently into the realm of peaceful sleep. Now, as you lay down, imagine the boy's brush resting lightly in your hand, painting your own dreams across the dark sky. Each thought a soft, shining star floating freely through the endless night. Feel the quiet magic settle deep inside you, the gentle pulse of the universe calling you softly to rest, your breath slow and steady, carrying you deeper and deeper into the calm and endless sleep of the stars. Picture the Nile flowing beside you, its waters smooth and glassy, reflecting the night, and the tall palms bending gently as a warm breeze hums lullabies of long ago. Let your mind drift like a feather, weightless and free, floating on a sea of stars, drawn by the boy who dreamed them alive. Sleep now, under the watchful gaze of those shining guides, wrapped in the soft glow of the night sky, carried gently into dreams where all is calm, and every star holds a story just for you. The night stretches endless, soft and slow like the river's flow, and the stars you painted shine quietly above, each a gentle beacon of peace, leading you ever deeper into rest. Rest beneath the vast heavens, where every breath is a wave on the quiet river, and every heartbeat a step closer to dream's embrace. Sleep, dreamer, for the boy who drew the stars watches gently, his hand guiding your path through the calm, endless night. The scarab that rolled the moon in the ancient sun-kissed lands beside the flowing Nile, where the golden sands meet the soft murmur of the river. There lived a small scarab beetle, a creature humble in size but mighty in purpose, carrying within its tiny form an ancient magic, a secret strength whispered through the ages by the desert winds. This scarab was no ordinary beetle. It was chosen by the gods themselves, gifted with a sacred task passed down through the tides of time, to roll the great shining moon across the sky each night, balancing the fragile dance between day and darkness, between the sun's warmth and the cool embrace of night. Each evening, as the sun slipped slowly behind distant dunes, painting the sky with hues of amber, rose, and gold, the scarab would awaken from its quiet shelter beneath the sands, its many legs steady and tireless, ready to begin the sacred journey once more. Before it lay the moon, a glowing orb of silver light, soft and serene, bathing the earth in gentle glow, softening the harsh lines of the day and cloaking the world in peace and calm. With unwavering determination and quiet grace, the scarab pushed the shining sphere forward. Slowly, steadily, across the vast night sky, carrying the moon through the embrace of darkness, watching over all beneath its tranquil light. Each movement was a sacred rhythm, in tune with the heartbeat of the earth and stars. Each step a prayer whispered to the cosmos, a solemn promise to guard the balance of night and day, to uphold the eternal cycle of rest and renewal. As the moon journeyed, it told soft stories, tales carried gently on the desert breeze, of gods who walked among mortals, of kings whose voices echoed through time, of rivers singing beneath stars, of dreams drifting softly over quiet sands, and magic woven into every grain beneath the vast sky. The scarab's path was endless, its strength boundless and steadfast, never hurried or rushed, but patient and true, like the eternal flow of the Nile itself. Now as you lie beneath the velvet canopy of night, feel the steady rhythm of the scarab's many legs, pushing the glowing moon across the heavens, its gentle light wrapping you in a soft, warm cloak, quieting your thoughts, soothing your spirit. Let the scarab's quiet strength fill your heart, steady and sure, pushing away worries and fears, bringing peace to every shadowed corner of your mind. Feel the cool, tender glow of the moon wash over you, soft as a desert breeze at midnight, carrying you deeper and deeper into a sea of restful, dream-filled sleep. Hear the distant murmur of the Nile's waters. Feel the soft caress of a warm breeze on your skin. See the countless stars shimmering above, all guiding you gently toward peaceful slumber. Sleep now, under the watchful glow of the moon, guided by the tireless scarab, carried softly into dreams as light and quiet as the starlight resting on desert sands. Let your breath slow and deepen, your body relax and sink, your mind drift with the endless rhythm of the scarab's sacred journey. Know that as you sleep, the scarab rolls the moon across the sky, a silent guardian of the night, watching over you in the stillness, keeping the delicate balance of darkness and light. Rest now, held safe in the gentle arms of night, cradled by the enduring strength of ancient magic, and carried forever into the sweetest, deepest sleep. Let your thoughts become like grains of sand, soft and countless, each one a tiny star in the vast sky of your dreams, floating gently on the desert breeze, carried ever onward by the scarab's tireless legs. Sleep, dear dreamer, under the watchful stars, wrapped in the calm and quiet of the eternal night, while the scarab rolls the moon above, your silent, steady guardian through the endless night. Let the gentle rhythm of the scarab's steps be the heartbeat of your rest, the pulse that guides you into dreamland soft and endless, where peace flows like the river's gentle song, and your spirit floats free, as light as the moon itself. Temples that hummed in the wind far beyond the bustling villages, beyond the stretching golden dunes, where the sun dips low and spills liquid gold across the endless sands. There lie ancient temples, silent and majestic, their stones weathered soft by countless centuries of wind and time. These temples are not mere buildings of stone and mortar, but living hearts of a forgotten age, breathing softly in rhythm with the desert's endless song, whispering the secrets of gods and kings, woven deep into every grain of the earth. When the gentle desert breeze wanders through their tall, worn columns, the temples hum, a sound so soft and tender, like a lullaby sung by the winds themselves, carrying stories across time, carrying the breath of prayers whispered long ago. Imagine standing beneath those towering pillars, feeling the warmth of the sun slowly fade into the cool touch of twilight, hearing the wind weave through the temple's arches, its voice a delicate thread stitching past and present into one. The temples sing a song of balance and peace, a sacred melody flowing between earth and sky, between the fleeting flicker of mortal life and the eternal stillness of the desert. This hum is not loud or sharp, but a deep, gentle vibration, felt not just with ears, but with the whole soul. A soothing whisper that wraps your heart like the softest cloak woven from the threads of time. Feel the stillness settle deep inside you, like the first dew upon the desert's morning sands, the quiet peace of countless years folding softly around your spirit. And let this ancient melody carry you further and further into a realm of rest, where dreams drift like golden dust floating slowly on a timeless breeze. Within these stones lie the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes, etched in delicate relief, tales of gods who traced the stars across the heavens, of kings who ruled with gentle hands and open hearts, their voices now singing softly on the wind's eternal breath. Picture the cool shadows lingering in those sacred halls, dust motes swirling slowly in shafts of fading sunlight, and the distant sounds of the desert night settling. The soft chorus of crickets, the rustling of palm fronds swaying gently. Let the humming grow softer still, becoming a pulse that slows your breath, that quiets your mind and smooths your thoughts, leading you gently, steadily, deeper and deeper into the sweetest rest. The wind carries the temple's song across the dunes, a timeless lullaby for all who listen, for the dreamers, the travelers, the seekers of calm, beneath the vast, star-studded sky. Sleep now, cradled by the temple's gentle song, held safe within the soft embrace of the desert wind's whisper, and carried tenderly into dreams where stone and sky move in quiet harmony. Feel yourself float on the breeze, weightless, free, as the ancient melody wraps around you like a silken shawl, guiding you into the calm and endless night. Rest now, beneath the watchful stars, within the silent, humming heart of the desert, and let the temple's song carry you into the sweetest, most profound sleep. Breathe slow, breathe deep. Let the temple's hum become your own heartbeat, steady and calm, carrying you softly ever onward, down into the peaceful night. The sands stretch wide and endless, soft beneath your feet, and the gentle wind whispers secrets of the ages as you drift and dream, held in the quiet arms of eternity itself. Sleep now, dear dreamer, under the vast and ancient sky, held safe by the soft songs of the temples, and carried gently into everlasting calm. Here, in this space between time and silence, your soul finds rest, and the gentle hum of the desert temple sings you home. The dream where you were there. Close your eyes softly now, and feel the steady rhythm of your breath, slow as the Nile's gentle current, flowing quietly beneath the endless sky. Let your thoughts drift like clouds across a calm, deep blue, and enter a dream vast and tender, where time falls gently like petals of a lotus flower, opening slowly beneath the silver light of the moon. In this dream, you find yourself standing on the soft banks of the great river, the water's surface shimmering with liquid light, reflecting the stars that dance in the sky above, a canopy of countless points of gentle twinkling fire. The air is warm and scented with the delicate perfume of lotus blossoms floating on the river's surface, and the soft murmur of the water sings ancient lullabies, carrying stories whispered through centuries by gods and kings, by fishermen and farmers, by the children who laughed and dreamed beneath this same sky long ago. Feel the cool, soft grains of sand beneath your feet, each one a tiny piece of history, a quiet secret carried by the wind and the river, waiting to be found by the dreamer in you. A gentle breeze brushes your skin, soft as a whispered promise, and it carries voices from the distant past. The soft chants of priests in shadowed temples, the laughter of children running free through fields of grain, the patient songs of scarab beetles rolling the moon across the night. You walk slowly along the riverbank, listening to the water's endless song, watching the stars reflect and shimmer like scattered diamonds upon the flowing surface. Around you rise the great temples of old, their massive stones glowing softly in the moonlight, their columns reaching upward like the arms of ancient trees, welcoming the night breeze with open spaces. When the wind passes through these sacred halls, the temples hum a quiet, soothing melody, a lullaby woven from the breath of the earth itself, from prayers offered long ago, and from the deep, steady heartbeat of the land. This song wraps around you like a warm shawl, soothing your mind and calming your soul, leading you deeper and deeper into rest. Above, the scarab beetle journeys tirelessly, rolling the glowing moon across the sky, its legs steady and sure, moving in time with the rhythm of your own heart. Its light a soft glow that washes away the shadows of worry and fear. The stars twinkle quietly above, each one a gentle beacon, guiding your spirit softly onward through this vast and peaceful dreamscape. And here, within this dream, you are not merely a visitor. You are part of the story itself, a silent guardian of the night's calm, a dreamer weaving your own thread into the shimmering tapestry of the ancient world. Feel the deep peace settle inside you, like cool water flowing through your veins, and the quiet strength of the earth beneath you, carrying you safely and slowly toward restful sleep. The river's lullaby flows on, endless, soothing, eternal, and the desert wind whispers its own gentle song, a melody that wraps your heart in warmth and calm, guiding you into the sweetest, most restful slumber. Sleep now, wrapped in the quiet embrace of night, held gently in the arms of the dream, and carried softly into the endless, soothing dark. Let your thoughts drift like lotus petals on the water, soft, weightless, free, floating ever onward into the calm and stillness of sleep. Know that as you rest, you are cradled by the ancient land itself, held by the stories of the past, watched over by the silent stars above. Sleep well, dear dreamer, beneath the vast and timeless sky, carried gently by the dream where you were there, a part of the night, a part of the world, forever calm, forever at peace.